Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here and welcome back to another video. So this is a very weird one. This is why it took so long to talk about this, because the whole situation is extremely damn confusing. So we're going to talk about the League of Anarchy dot damage. Does the League of Anarchy dot damage work well for you? Well, that's normal. Does the League of Anarchy dot damage not work well for you and it no longer crits? That's also normal, but it depends on what device you're using. So since the new update, I've been getting a lot of mixed feedback in regards to League of Anarchy dot damage. Some people were saying it doesn't work, some people are confirming it works fine for me, and then other people keep telling me it doesn't work, doesn't crit, trying to send me video proof of it. And it's weird when there's a new update that drops and a new soul raid, especially because a lot of people will get confused because they are no longer gonna have the passive stats from the artifacts, and that leads to a lot of confusion. Every single time a new soul raid is released, we'll have people claiming that something does less damage than previously, and they think it's because of the new update, but usually it's because they have less passive stats. So because the situation was so confusing, I made a poll where I simply asked you guys, and I said that I'm getting mixed feedback on League of Anarchy dot damage, and that it might be different depending on if you're using Android and iOS, which is the craziest thing. Because some people came up with the theory, and it kind of stuck to an extent, that it's going to differ depending on which device you're using. So in the community poll that I did, I asked 4 questions. First of all, is it working well for you or not? And then each of those questions had an option depending on the device you're using. The Android user said with 42% certainty, I mean not 42 of the total 100, but it was kind of 3-to-1 that it works. And I'm gonna trust that. On Android it works for me. Most likely the people that voted, the 1/4 of it that voted, are a bit confused because of the lack of passive stats. Maybe the new crit resistances that are all over the place, the dot damage, that's normal, that's fine. Now as far as the iOS goes, kind of 1/4 of the people said that it's working fine on iOS in terms of dot damage, and 3/4 of people said that the League of Anarchy dot damage is not critting on iOS. It's simply not critting. And this must be the weirdest bug that I have ever seen in Injustice 2 Mobile. Something that works well on one type of device, one type of operating system, and it doesn't work well on the other one. So yeah, I can't really say with definitive proof, but it seems like most likely, very likely, the League of Anarchy dot damage is bugged for the iOS client of the game, because the game is going to basically have 2 different patches, not one, every single time we get a patch release. They're going to do a patch for Android and iOS because the game files are going to be a bit different, I imagine. I'm not into game programming, I don't know how that works, but I imagine for iOS and Android there's going to be a few differences. And for some reason, this is the first time I ever hear that they managed to bug something out. I've heard about differing performances and performance issues with the newest iPhone and stuff like that, but I've never heard of a team not functioning for one device and functioning for the other. That League of Anarchy dot damage is indeed bugged on iOS. If you're using iOS, GG will play it unlucky. I don't know how to tell you, my dudes. I don't know what to tell you. It's working fine for me, but it doesn't seem to be working well for iOS. That's about it for this video. It's just crazy that this happens. You would never think that this would be the case. First time I saw this comment, it works fine for iOS and it doesn't work for, it works fine for Android and it doesn't work for iOS. I was like, ah, my dude, are you crazy? But no, it seems to be the case. That's the whole issue, if you're wondering. That's about it. That's all I can do in regards to this issue, bring some attention to it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this gets fixed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.